All right, welcome to Talkin' Investing. I am Tom, and as always, this is not financial advice. Today, I want to talk about Hut8 Mining, stock ticker HUT. They are a Bitcoin mining company, among other things. So they put out a press release after hours yesterday, and it's a pretty important one. So I want to go through it and give you my thoughts on that. We talk about Bitcoin and the Bitcoin miners all the time on this channel. So if that is content you're interested in, please remember to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Also, if everybody could please smash the like button, it helps this channel out a lot, and I appreciate it. You guys have really been helping with comments and hitting the like button, and that really helps get these videos out to more people. So thank you very much. Okay, let's talk about Hut. Okay, we're in the middle of trading day on August 18th. So right now, Hut is trading at $2.86. It's down about 4.3%. That is lagging behind the other Bitcoin miners today, and I do think that's a direct function of the press release that they put out. So the press release that they put out, we're going to go through. Essentially, they're doing an at-the-market offering for $200 million. So I want to go through what that means to the company. A lot of investors really panic when an at-the-market offering comes out. This freaks out investors, and very oftentimes it is a buying opportunity, in my opinion. So Hut's down 4% today. That's not a drastic move to the downside, but it is underperforming versus the other Bitcoin miners. You'll see they've got a market cap of about $556 million. That is roughly their book value, so they're trading at around 1-to-1. That's much better than where they were. This stock is up significantly in the last 6 weeks, as are all of the Bitcoin miners. They were all trading at about half of their book value. Now, 6 months ago, they were all trading at about 5 times their book value. So you can see these are extremely volatile stocks. And we're going to go through that. But what I really want to do, I want to start out by going through the press release, and let's talk about what they did. August 17th, 2022, and this came out after the market closed yesterday. Hut8 Mining Corp is pleased to announce that it has entered into an equity distribution agreement dated August 17th, 2022, pursuant to which the company establishes an at-the-market equity program. So this is standard language, so this should not freak anybody out. This is how these at-the-market shelf offerings work. They're at the company's discretion. They don't have to use these. They don't have to use them now. They're typically valid for a few years. So that's why this language is important. The company may, at its discretion and from time to time during the term of the ATM agreement, sell through the agent such number of common shares of the company as would result in an aggregate gross proceeds to the company of up to $200 million, and those are US dollars. So this company is based in Canada, so important distinction. Again, this means they have not issued necessarily any stock at all, but they are opening up the right to issue as many shares as they can to raise $200 million over the next few years. And again, they don't have to use this at any given time, and they really don't have to use it at all. And there are some examples inside of the Bitcoin mining industry of at-the-market offerings that were opened up that were really never used. A lot of people would think this is not an ideal time to start issuing equity and creating stock dilution. So I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes and tell you the pros and cons from my perspective. Okay, then this talks about the use of the funds. The company intends to use the net proceeds of the at-the-market program, if any, principally for general corporate purposes, including funding ongoing operations and/or working capital requirements. Okay, so I'll tell you, that's in every at-the-market program. This is very common boilerplate language. They then go on to say, the net proceeds of the at-the-market program may also be used to repay indebtedness outstanding from time to time, discretionary capital programs, and potential acquisitions. So I want to focus on that last thing, because out of everything that they just talked about here, I believe that they have given several signals that what this is really for is potential acquisitions. They are not going to buy any more Bitcoin miners between now and the end of the year. They said that in their quarterly press conference just last week, but they did say they were open to inorganic growth on both the high computing side of the business and on the Bitcoin mining side of the business. I do know that Hut stopped buying machines basically first before everybody else. And it looks like the price for actual Bitcoin mining machines has not yet bottomed out. So that has come down drastically, and it may be at the bottom or it may be still on the way down. So I just want to play a little clip of something that Jamie said on the conference call last week, which I think is a big signal towards what I'm talking about.
And we like to be incredibly opportunistic when we deploy capital, but we actively are pursuing in both categories.
Okay, so they're actively pursuing in both categories, and she said they're going to be opportunistic. That is one of her words. They do not like to do things and pay extra. They're very opportunistic, and she said if no opportunities present themselves, then they're not going to do anything. So I believe they've opened this $200 million not to go use $200 million immediately, but to help sustain their liquidity and give them the option to do some acquisitions if the right opportunities present themselves without compromising the liquidity of the company. So they're not going to sell their Bitcoin to go buy more Bitcoin mining machines or to buy another Bitcoin mining company. They're going to hold their Bitcoin. They don't want to sell it at 24,000. They want to sell it at 100,000 or whatever the case may be. So let's just take a quick look at their balance sheet. So again, this is my take on what they're doing. So I read exactly what the at the market offering says. So, they're free to do what they want to do. They could go grab all 200 million of this tomorrow. I would be stunned, as I think would everybody, if they did that. So, that is not a likely scenario. I think what I'm talking about, that is what I believe they're going to do. So obviously only management knows exactly what they're going to do. And I got to reiterate, this is not financial advice, right? I don't have any inside information on this. So I'm just using my best judgment based on all the things management, and particularly Jamie Leverton, has talked about this issue many, many times over the course of the last year and a half. She will only take on acquisitions opportunistically. In other words, she's not going to overpay for anything. She doesn't even want to pay fair price. She's been finding bargains, and that's what they're looking for. Okay, so just to revisit, they're at $2.86 right now, so you may think that's not the best time to be raising capital. Now, the first thing is they're certainly not going to raise all $200 million of this at $2.86. So in my mind, I'm thinking, even if they were to go, let's say over the next 60 days, they were to go get $50 million. That would extremely strengthen their balance sheet. That would be a small stock dilution. That would be about a 10% stock dilution. It was at about $3.70 just a couple of days ago. So HUT could easily get up to $4 or $5 a share. So given that it was down at $1.27 a share a month and a half ago, if this stock hit $4 to $5, if I was management, I think it would be prudent to go raise money at that rate because, again, just a month and a half ago, they were trading at $1.27. So you want to borrow money when you don't need money, right? We don't want to wait until we get back down to $1.27 and run out of money, and then they have to go dilute themselves at $1.27. Let's take a look at their chart just so that you can understand what's going on. Okay, first, big picture standpoint. From their November 2021 high, they are still down almost 83%. This is their stock price. So they got up well over $16. They're under $3 right now. So still an 83% drop off in an 8 or 9 month period. So you can see they're way off of their highs. There's a lot of opportunity for this stock to grow. Okay, so if I zoom in a little, you'll see that just a few days ago on August 15th, that was just 3 days ago, this stock was trading for $3.70. So it is not at all unrealistic to think that they could get to $4 or $5 sometime shortly. So again, if they were to take a small portion, do a 5% to 10% dilution at $4 or $5, I do think that that is a nice hedge against what has been happening to their stock. It gets them the money so that they can opportunistically go buy something if and when an opportunity presents itself. So again, I don't think they're going to be selling any stock at $2.86. I would expect them to wait until $4 or $5, and even then I would expect them to only begin to use this, and I would expect them only to do that really in the instance where an opportunity is presenting itself. I have my suspicions that they're already looking at some very specific things, but I don't know that. So we will have to wait and see. So that's the $200 million news on HUT. So again, from my perspective, if I trust management and this is a strong company, if they're doing an at-the-market offering like this, you either trust management or you don't trust management. So if you don't trust management, then you'll think they'll abuse this. If you do trust them, then she's already pretty much come out and said what they want to do with this. So just my personal opinion, but I actually feel good about this. I think it is causing a short-term pullback. I think that over the next 3 to 6 months, we're going to see some big moves from HUT 8, and then we're going to understand why they did this. And that's typically how these things work. So that's what I got for you on the HUT 8 $200 million at-the-market offering. Thanks so much for watching. Please remember to subscribe to the channel and smash the like button. So thanks again, and we will see you in the next video.